नहमदुहु व नसल्ली अला रसूलिहिल करीम अम्मा बाद अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाह. I'm lucky that I only had one wedding, one marriage, one successful marriage. Let me complete, but several failed affairs.
Welcome to the club, sir.
And they were all post-marital, and at a critical juncture my wife came to know about it, and they failed. Normally I believe that I am good with my wife, but I fight often, maybe 3 or 4 times a day, not more. The first fight I had with my wife was on the 3rd day of wedding. I used to live in Hong Kong, and whenever I used to come and meet her in Pakistan before marriage, I used to tell her that, look, after marriage, I'll take you to the most fantastic places on earth. And on the 3rd day, I took her to Kabristan. And she was mad that, is this the fantastic place you were always telling me? I said, people die to come here. Yes, I'm talking about failures. Now, my marriage could have failed that day, but sometimes you have to manage things wittily, strategically. You have to deal with situations smartly, and then you can save failures. Mr. Omar Toor, is he around? Yes. Oh, yeah. He failed at the age of 6 or in standard 6. But there is a famous, I would say, joke that a young chap failed, never knew how to talk to his father about this, so he went there and asked his father, Father, have you heard failure is success of failure? Father said, yes. He said, you really believe in that? He said, yes. Dad, I failed. Now what he did, the kid, it's a joke, but basically trying to convert a difficult situation into a manageable situation. Talking about Islamic history, after Hijrah, there were 3 wars. 2 were great victories, and 1 was disappointing. And in the 6th year after Hijrah, Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam went with his companions to perform Hajj. He traveled towards Makkah, and they settled down in Hudaybiyah. And in all worldly terms it was a failure, because they could not go to Makkah. And the compromise agreement, Sulh Hudaybiyah as it is known, was so much in favor of Makkans, the pagans, and so much against Muslims visibly. But that is the incident which has been described as Fatah Makkah, the reason for Fatah Makkah. And Fatah Mubin, Surah Fatah starts with that, and that surah was sent to Rasulullah after Hudaybiyah, or at the time of Hudaybiyah. But I'm trying to say that visibly there could be some failure, but as many speakers mentioned to us that Allah is the great planner. Sometimes we don't know what's in His plan for us. So basically, we heard about belief, we have heard about faith, we heard about hope. These are the key factors that we should follow in our life. I'll share some of my failures. I created 118 enterprises by now, and I'm still counting. At least 2 are in the pipeline. And I had more than 60 failures. And believe me, I'm proud of the failures than the success. I enjoyed the success. I had some huge revenue. I have hired altogether in my lifetime more than 40,000 people. That really gives me some pride. But the real pride I derive is from my failures, because whatever I am today is because of my failures. Each time I fail, I remember Thomas Alva Edison. He created bulb, and while creating, he failed 2,000 times. And he said, well, each time what you call I failed was learning for me. I was improving upon my research. I was getting better and better. So it was a learning process. It was part of the process that took me to a product which even today we relish. So I remember Thomas Alva Edison, or I remember Soleil Hudaybiya. And I try to extract the best out of it. I analyze it. I look into what went wrong, what were the gaps, where did I really miss the boat, where was I not well researched. So if you really study that, then your next attempt will definitely be better. Just like Umar mentioned, that when you took your baby steps, you fell down. But then did you stop walking? No. You took another step. Maybe your mother held your finger and encouraged you to walk. There are people around us to encourage us. We should be in their company. When we fail, yes, we should consult people with wisdom. I normally say you should consult with people with no hair or grey hair, and they will come to your escort. We heard some disappointing stories where nobody comes to help. Yes, that also happens in this world. But then there are people who really want to help people in distress. There are organizations who help people selflessly. They really help for the pleasure of Allah. So we should start looking for such people in case we fail, to seek guidance, to share our issues with them, trying to know what will they do if they are in a similar situation. I mean, we were really moved and inspired by the first two speakers. Most of the audience had tears in their eyes. But look how they survived. And survived not just to survive, they are at a strong position today. Whatever they're doing, they are the most important people in their arena. They're the best players in their arena. So we should look at people like them and learn from them that how to overcome whatever comes in our life and still stay happy. In 71, I was studying in Kolkata. Those days Pakistan had, or India had 5 seats for Pakistani students. When I was graduated and I was doing my house job in dental surgery, the 71 war took place and they were arresting all Pakistanis. I had to run away. I literally went on my foot to Nepal and then managed to go to Hong Kong. And in Hong Kong, because we had connections back in East Pakistan, I got inquiries because they were absolutely virgin. I mean, there was no businessmen left there. But because of our connections, I got a lot of business inquiries and I started attending to them. And in a matter of 6 to 8 months, I had a reasonable business established. My age was 20 years then. And those days, I got an LC for rice because Pakistan was exporting rice to Bangladesh. They are mainly rice eaters. And I got an LC for 9.7 million pounds. Basically, it was a great success. I went to my father and told him I need money to execute this order. He said, well, whatever I have is for all children. So if I help you today, I'll give you your share from whatever I have, according to Sharia. I'll gift it, of course, but then you promise me that you don't claim anything from your brothers and sisters after I'm gone. I said, yes, don't worry, because I'll multiply this money several times. And in 3 months, I was literally on the road. In Hong Kong, to cross the ferry, those days, we used to pay 10 Hong Kong cents, which was then 20 paisa, Pakistani 20 paisa. At stages, I had no money to cross through ferry. So that was a big failure. But alhamdulillah, I came back from that. And yes, I took help from people, not monetary help, but guidance. I tried to execute some other small orders, started very small again, and alhamdulillah I bounced back. And the largest business I established was Callmate, if you remember, Callmate calling card. That was a multi-billion rupee business, employed 20,000 people. So failures do happen in life. If we take them positively, if we really analyze them, if we try to identify the weaknesses that cause the failure and correct them, then life rewards you abundantly. I'll give you another example. My father always taught me that whatever you do, you should be the champion in the business. We are from a business family, business community. So this was his statement, which I really loved. I had a restaurant, in fact a chain of restaurants, very busy place, very successful business, doing very well in Karachi. In one fine morning, I was in my factory. We were assembling Toshiba televisions those days, employing 600 people. I was sitting there and I received a phone call that all the chefs have walked out. They are on strike. Now, before I launched this chain of restaurants, me and my daughter did a chef's course. So we actually knew what we were serving. So I went there, my wife joined me, my daughter joined me in the kitchen. My young children, my son was then about 14 years and a daughter 12 years. They went into the service area and acted as waiters. And a busy restaurant, we ran it, alhamdulillah, most efficiently. There was a learning that I was dependent on people who could give me trouble. So what we did is we changed the business model as a whole. We brainstormed for about a week and we eliminated the skills of a chef that was required. We developed processes where a simple guy who doesn't know even basics of cooking can, with a day's training, start preparing our recipes. And alhamdulillah, the restaurant flourished. So if we handle our issues and problems and failures this way, we analyze them, we find the right solution, we correct them, we try to revive, rebounds, success will touch your feet. Of course, Allah is Razik and Allah is the planner and Allah blesses us. So with faith, with hope, we should always bounce back. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. शेर जो मैंने गले से लगाया हुआ है और जिंदगी का फलसफा बनाया हुआ है, वो शाख गुल पे रहे या किसी की मैयत पर, वो शाख गुल पे रहे या किसी की मैयत पर, चमन के फूलों को आदत है मुस्कुराने की.